I could smell her breath and I was like, whoa, man, I could be pregnant, but I don't want to get excited. Overanalyzing like every little thing. Good morning. I am trying to film this before my toddler wakes up, so I'm gonna try to whip this out. I'm gonna go over my 2-week wait symptoms for this current pregnancy. I honestly did not want to make this video. I'm a little bit nervous to make it personally because for me, I overanalyze everything in pregnancy and before I know I'm pregnant, just like I'm sure you are if you're watching this video. And it added to my disappointment if I didn't take a positive test. I want to make sure that you have an accurate description of what those 2-week wait symptoms might feel like because they are distinct. But at the end of the day, the only thing that's going to tell you if you're pregnant or not is the positive test at the end of the 2 weeks. Before I get into this, I make tons of pregnancy content. I love pregnancy. I don't necessarily love being pregnant, but I just think it's so awesome and I love the community. So don't forget to subscribe, like this video if you enjoyed it, and comment down below what you want to see next. First off, I used Ovia to track my ovulation before I got pregnant with my first. And this pregnancy, I used ovulation test strips. So I bought those from Amazon. I used the brand Smile Lab. It was my first time using ovulation tests. And I know when I ovulated for this specific pregnancy. So I'm gonna go over my symptoms days post-ovulation. For me, on ovulation day, I had the cramps that I had been waiting for a really long time. It's definitely one-sided, and some people call it middle schmerz, I think. Middle schmears. Anyways, I definitely had those on the day of ovulation. It's a pulling on one side. It's kind of twingy, and usually it happens on and off for just a little bit. It's not like an all-day event like a period cramp would be. But day 1 post-ovulation, I just had slight cramping. Nothing to write home about, definitely not anything like period cramps, very slight, and I had an increased appetite. That's all I wrote down for day 1. Day 2, I had slight cramps again, some bloating, and my muscles were really sore. I'm not sure if it's from a workout that I did the day before or I'm not sure. I just felt overall soreness kind of everywhere. And day 3, I have mood swings, LOL, written down. I think I got a fight with my husband that day and I just felt overall moody. And I had some minor bloating. I could smell her breath and I was like, whoa, that's not feeling right now. Day 4, I had a bump on the back of my neck, like almost like a cyst. I'm really unsure what this actually was, but it just was a bump and it was so painful. It was like right in the middle of my neck and it wasn't anything like a knot. It wasn't muscular. It had almost like a pimple, honestly. It was just the weirdest thing. That was so distracting. I didn't write down any other symptoms on day 4, but that bump, I've never had something like that and it was so weird. Day 5, my nipples felt sore, and this was something that stood out to me because of breastfeeding. So I felt like I didn't have any milk that day. My daughter just like wanted water constantly, and my milk was just felt low. My boobs felt small, and the reason that I felt nipple soreness might have been because she was sucking harder. I'm not really sure. And I had a really vivid dream that night. I never remember my dreams, and I remembered this one, so that was kind of interesting. Day 6 post-ovulation, I had cramps, and this is when things started to feel a little bit off and different for me. So my mouth tasted weird, like I woke up with almost like a film on the back of my teeth, and it just was weird. Like I brush my teeth before I go to bed, so my teeth should feel clean when I wake up, and they did not feel clean. I had a weird taste in my mouth, and I had cramping on the left side, kind of near my pelvis, just really low. Day 7, I had extreme shortness of breath. I felt like it was impossible to work out. I felt so out of shape that day, and I still felt like my milk was decreased. So I also had the weird mouth taste, some bloating, some cramping, and I was very thirsty. I noticed I just had an increased sense of thirst. Day 8, I took a negative test, felt a lot of the same symptoms on top of a backache. and a pinchy type of cramping. And at night, I felt nauseous. And this is when I was like, man, I could be pregnant, but I don't want to get excited. Day 9, I took another negative test. I had a ton of nausea and really weird aversion. So I felt nausea through the entire day. It wasn't that bad. It was just like a nauseous feeling that I would relate to pregnancy because I'm not nauseous typically, but I also had a nosebleed. And this was honestly, like, I was like, man, I have to be pregnant. Like, I don't get nosebleeds, and just the increase in blood flow, I know that your body's prepping to carry a baby and it's already starting to make more blood. So I felt like I've got to be pregnant at this point, but I was still taking negative tests. So I was disappointed and feeling like, I wonder if something's going on behind the scenes that I don't know about. So day 10, I was really aware of my sense of smell because I cannot stop smelling stuff. I smell like dog food, and I smell the taste of milk from my daughter's mouth. I've never smelled her breath before. It's not like very apparent typically, but I could smell her breath and I was like, whoa, that's not feeling right now. I also had insomnia the night of day 10. So I woke up during the middle of the night and I felt like I could not get back to sleep. I don't know if I was overthinking or if I actually had the type of pregnancy insomnia that kind of carries out through pregnancy, but I could not get back to sleep. Day 11, I was breaking out everywhere. I felt like I had a pimple for the amount of hairs on my head. Like, it was insane. I never have acne and it was full on right away. So that was kind of a bummer. Day 12, I took a positive test. So this is when I stopped writing down my symptoms. Obviously, if you don't take a positive test day 12, it's not the end. You might take one day 15 or day 16 or day 14. You never know. So one thing I thought I would have more of in this 2-week wait period was soreness in my breasts, and this was just surprising to me. I felt like that was a really key symptom for my first pregnancy, and I think it's just because honestly I'm breastfeeding, so my breasts have already changed a lot since my first child, and the milk is kind of already there, so a lot of things just are different this time around. I already have the stretched skin. I'm not going through as many changes as maybe a first-time pregnant mom would be. So that's all kind of interesting. You can take what you want from it, but those were my 2-week wait symptoms. I am currently in my 14th week of pregnancy. So I'm in my 2nd trimester, and this is my 3rd pregnancy. So I had a miscarriage before this, and then I have my daughter. So I'm really excited to have this rainbow baby. I'd love for you to follow along our journey, and I make content every Tuesday and Friday. So I will see you guys on Friday. Thanks for watching.